Amelia, an avid collector of antique books, discovers The Whisper Man, an eerie 1890 volume at an auction. As she delves into its sinister pages, reality begins to warp, and a chilling presence invades her life. What dark secrets does the book hold? And what has Amelia unleashed? Amelia loved old books and spent her days searching for unique finds. Her home was filled with shelves of novels, each one taking her to a different world. One day, she found a book at an auction that seemed to call out to her. It was an old leather-bound book titled The Whisper Man, published in 1890. The book was full of creepy pictures and even scarier words about a monster that fed on fear. Soon as Amelia started reading, she couldn't stop. The words seemed to move on the page, drawing her in deeper. But strange things began to happen. Shadows in her home seemed to move on their own, twisting into scary shapes just out of the corner of her eye. She felt constantly uneasy, like there was a low hum of anxiety in the air. Then the whispers started. At first, they were faint, barely noticeable, but soon they got louder, forming a language she couldn't understand, but that filled her with dread. The whispers followed her into her dreams, turning them into nightmares filled with monsters and darkness. Amelia's home, once her safe haven, now felt like a prison with an unseen presence always watching her. Her favorite books no longer brought comfort. The fictional horrors she once enjoyed seemed trivial compared to the real terror she was facing. Sleep became rare and terrifying. She would wake up in a cold sweat, heart pounding, feeling as if the walls were closing in. The whispers were relentless, constantly clawing at her sanity. Days turned into weeks, and Amelia became a shut-in. Her eyes grew sunken, and her once shiny hair lost its luster. She stopped leaving her house, consumed by the fear that something was always lurking just out of sight. The whispers grew bolder, and she began to see a shadowy figure in the corners of her vision. It was tall and gaunt, always shifting so she could never clearly see it. One night, the whispers reached a terrifying peak, forming a single chilling sentence. "Let me in." A cold darkness wrapped around her, filling her mind with a horrible hunger. The book, once just an object, now pulsed with evil energy, its pages rippling like they were alive. The next morning, the antique shop owner who had sold her the book found Amelia curled up by her bookshelf, the book open in her lap. But it wasn't really Amelia anymore. Her eyes had turned cold and reptilian, and she had a predatory smile. She picked up the book and began to read aloud, her voice a chilling echo of the terror from the book. Each word was a dark promise, an invitation to the darkness. Amelia, or whatever had taken over her body, was just the beginning. The whispers hadn't stopped. They were just waiting for their next victim. The world of fiction, once a refuge for Amelia, had become a gateway to real and terrifying horror. From the dusty shelves of countless antique stores, other whispers stirred, waiting for their turn to be released, ready to unleash their own terror on the world. As Amelia's eyes turned cold and reptilian, the whispers from The Whisper Man echoed, promising more terror to come. What other dark secrets lie within these forgotten tomes? Find out in our next spine-chilling tale. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Join us next at Saturday night at 10 p.m. for another haunting experience.